Hey guys, and welcome to my newbie guide on how to get a level 60 character in Dragon Nest. Before we get started on the actual methods, there are a few things you should know first. After you make your character, you'll notice that you're automatically enrolled into an academy. Academies are essentially guilds you're thrown into as soon as you make a character to find players around your level to play with. However, I suggest you leave your academy as soon as possible and join a player-made guild. When inside of your guild, you can get advice from high-level players as well as receive a 50% bonus experience scroll and a title boost to your damage. You can find your bonus experience scroll and your new title in your special storage after you join a guild. The special storage can be accessed in town by clicking this button. There are various types of gear in Dragon Nest, but as you level up, you will only need to focus on the bare minimum. So long as you keep your gear up to date and enhance it at the blacksmith when possible, you'll do just fine. Don't worry about getting the best gear either, since it doesn't matter until you're at the level cap. It's best to save as much money as you can for the higher levels. My personal recommendation is that you use magic, rare, and occasionally epic level items, which are green, blue, and orange respectively. Dragon Nest dungeons revolve around the power system. You can see how much power you have at the bottom of your HUD. Each time you do a dungeon, you lose power. You lose less power if you do easier difficulties or party up with more people. You get 800 daily power and 500 weekly power. When you run out of both kinds of power, your drop rate and experience gain from doing dungeons will be significantly reduced. So for the most part, stay in parties if you plan on playing for long periods of time. Otherwise, you can pretty much ignore this feature. Note that level 60s use many times more power than level 59 and below. Parties in Dragon Nest allow you to team up with other players to complete dungeons. Having more people in your party does, however, reduce the amount of experience you get per dungeon run. There are many positive things that come from being in parties though, such as faster dungeon runs, less power usage, an experience bonus for having friends in your party, and a stackable experience bonus that you get from doing consecutive dungeon runs. Generally, players get more experience per hour by doing dungeons in a party as opposed to soloing. This applies even more so to newer players that don't have very good gear. If you would like a higher level player to help you do dungeons, they will likely only help you if you let them be your mentor. When you run dungeons with a mentor, the mentor loses no power or durability from the dungeon. You also receive a bonus to your experience gain that stacks when more pupils of the same mentor are in the party. Note that you can't be mentored after you get to level 50. Now that you are properly informed about the basics, let's start with the two main ways of getting to 60. The first way is known as grinding. This mode of leveling is best for people who have a lot of spare time. By staying in full parties and doing Master or Abyss difficulty dungeons as fast as you can, at the proper dungeons, you can level up to 60 at a fast pace. The list of dungeons for each stride of levels is going to be listed along with any notes or strategies that should be used when completing them. The second most common method for leveling up to 60 is questing. Questing is a much better option for those who don't have a large amount of time to spend at once. Through questing, it is possible for someone to solo all the way up to level 52. The rule of thumb is to get as many side quests as you can and do whichever dungeons have the most XP at a time. It is also recommended that you keep up with your main story quests. You can open up your quest tab and see what quests go with what dungeon by pressing the U key.